Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of the skill fusions that came out with the release of the Primal Demon meta, and it is the Old Space Rain. So she is space, she is physical, and she is AOE, which means that she may have some value in the current beatdown battle. Now, I don't know exactly how much, but, we're here to find that out. And with her skill fusion, it's affecting her first skill, so it's the 300% instant damage skill. So as soon as you press this skill and hit activate, boom, damage done. You don't have to send any orbs, it doesn't waste your turn, it's just instant. And she used to hurt herself for 25% of her HP, so, 4 times and you're down to 1 HP. That wasn't that great, and I never really understood the self-damaging aspect of the skill when they came out, because it just didn't make a lot of sense. Well, the skill fusion goes ahead and solves all that by just removing that completely, and instead it gives her guaranteed crits for 1 turn. Now, this does not affect the instant damage itself. Nothing affects instant damage except resistance, like debuffs and stuff like that. But it means that all of her orbs will be guaranteed crits, or her ult would be a guaranteed crit. And for, the low cost of 15 points, that is pretty impactful. Now, you can't crit the beatdown battle. Well, you could. It's a very low chance, but her skill giving her guaranteed crits will not be affected within the current beatdown battle. But we can still get some instant damage, and with the release of the Protector Violet, we could potentially use the skill, over and over and over and over and over again. And, now that we don't hurt ourselves, it could just be a butt ton of instant damage for, just skill points. So we're going to go ahead and level this up, and then we'll try her out. First off, just to see the, unlimited instant damage skill, and then we'll try and move her into the beatdown battle, maybe EX2 or something. Alright, as the first test, we're going to go into, her original beatdown battle, the Space 2.0 Tempered Edge against Milim, Lumi, and Dino. And we're just going to bring a whole bunch of blue orb changers and Violet, and we're going to try and build up enough points to where we can just continue to use the instant damage over and over and over again and see if we can actually pull out a win. I mean, they have 252k HP, and, we're going to do like 16, 15k a hit, so we're going to need a lot of instant damage to get there, or at least make a huge dent. So, I don't know how feasible it is, but it's certainly something fun to test out. Alright, we got a good starting hand, so let's go ahead and take out Guy, right? Guy for Diablo, and then we'll bring in Rain for the hero, and that allows us to use Misery's orb change, which is only primal demons, but it turns up to 3 oranges to blues, and that gives us a full hand right there. And we'll go ahead and send Rain. I mean, her damage isn't going to change, so 11.8, 11,000. Obviously, she's weaker than a brand new EX character, so that's not overly surprising. But she is still, is doing a lot of damage, actually. What does our turn 2 look like? We are binded now for 2 turns, which is why I wanted our orb changers up here. That'd be a good Violet hand. Not something that we can really use here, though. Let's go ahead and buff her attack. Now, I don't think the attack buff is going to affect her instant damage. How is it defined again? Space physical attack. So I don't think we can affect that with just normal attack stacks. If we were to stack space attack, maybe, but it says base space attack. Basic space attack. So I don't know if that would actually stack up or not. Let's try and take out these oranges and see if we can get a nice hand of greens that we can use Diablo. Perfect. Ooh, that's actually a lot of rain orbs too. Okay. And we'll not hit Milim. Although I think Lumi might heal her anyways. We just have to sit here and build up a butt ton of points. And the fact that we're going to do less damage is nice. Oh, yeah, a lot less damage there. So I'd say, 6 turns if we can live. We do have an ult for Rain. Alright, so there's their own instant damage coming in. Fun. 2 more stacks of violet means that we'll be able to get a number of orb changes now, which will be good. We are not binded anymore, which means I don't have to use Diablo's convert. I can just use Guy. So let's get Misery. Boom. Lower their pierce resistance even more. And then we'll bring Guy in for... Actually, no, let's use the alt swap as well, while we're here. We don't have to send the alt. Boom. And then, yeah, we'll bring Guy in because he's just a cheaper Diablo right now. And then we'll get a lot of points off of this. But I don't know if I'm ready to use the instant damage quite yet. Because, 250 points is going to go by real fast. Even if the skill only costs 15, it's going to add up very, very, very quickly the more we use it. Okay, that's certainly a hand right there. It's just that I think we can live. So I think we'll be fine. Alright, so they're going to ult us. Or Lumi's going to ult us. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Alright. We'll bring Misery back in. For Guy? Yeah, we're going to have to. Okay. So, orb change, alt swap. How far do I want to go in this, though? Like, that's the thing. How many points is enough points, realistically? 300? 350? It's turn 6 next time, so... let's just go off and send it. Dino and Milim will probably get healed here. This is a single target? Yeah, that didn't hurt that much. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and do this. Alright, so there's a heal. Let's get 2 stacks of attack. I honestly don't think it's going to affect it, but if we start doing like 30k instant damage, then I guess we have our answer. But the second rain skill will help us because it lowers space resistance by 25%. And if we lower their space resistance, it means that we will do more damage. So let's see how much it does by itself. So 13k-ish. Alright, let's use the resistance down and then do it again. So 13k, now 15.3. And again. and again. Alright, so yeah, it's very slow going. And now we're out of points. So, I mean, it's fun. It's cool. Now she's going to have guaranteed crits, which they do have crit resistance. 20%, so that's not really too helpful. But we are lowering that by... well, we're going to be close to it. 20% crit resistance, 15% crit damage. It almost, slides out. Let's see how much her guaranteed crit alt does. And this will be, the first time getting it in the video. It is a rather unique alt, because obviously she's never used this in the show. It might be, like, light novel manga or something like that. I don't know. But Demolish Cannon does 80k. Okay, I mean, that's not bad. That that's with all the attack stacks, the space resistance down, kind of offsetting the crit resistance that they have. I mean, that's not terrible. Obviously, we could make that much bigger, right? Because we have a butt ton of buffs on this team that we just didn't use straight up. And yeah, there we go. Okay. I mean, instant damage is fun. Obviously, you need a lot of points to really, really, really make it count. Because we did 13 and 15, and then we did 15 times like 5 or 6. So less than 100k in instant damage, or alright. It's a fun little gimmick thing. But let's try and actually make her an AOE nuker in the current beatdown battle, which is, I think, going to be much more impactful. Also, before we move on to beatdown battle, on the plus side, she makes farming the event stage pretty easy. So, you go into the Black Progenitor Part 3, you need to farm up the medals, you've done your 20 parallel process, and maybe your team doesn't exactly look like this, okay, right? But, instant damage makes things go very, very quickly. So if you're in this, and, if your Rain is also strong enough, she can, under circumstances, one-shot this entire front line, and then you just do that over and over and over again. It takes a lot of the time of, autoing this stage out. So, how much do we even do with this? We can We can lower their resistance and instant damage, so boom, and boom. Okay, yeah, both 2 of them are dead and 1 of them is alive, with barely a sliver of health, and then you got a guaranteed crit, which even if she's not skill-fused, I mean, she would hurt herself, yeah, but it's still going to be the same 300% damage. So, I mean, that's viable. I mean, that alone makes it kind of worth it, right? Instant damage makes the farming of the metals easier, makes getting the rewards out of the shop much easier. So I think that's pretty good, and she's really the first unit that's allowed us to do it efficiently. Because instant damage is not too often used, especially in a farming method. So I mean, this is viable, is very viable, and I do appreciate that. Alright, I'm feeling confident. Confident enough to not just go into beatdown battle, but to go into Inferno 1, where the HP jump is quite enormous. You know, 550-ish, somewhere around there, to 1.7 million. But I'm confident that with the amount of buffs that we have on this team, we can still do it. Now, one thing to note is Rain is not an EX character, so she will not benefit from Jean's part of her second skill, because that's Primal Demon EX alts 70%. Rain is not capable of doing an EX alt, so she's going to miss the 70. She will still benefit from this 50% space resistance down, but if we want to just save ourselves 55 points on the nuke, I mean, Rain does lower space resistance anyways by 25%, which, you know, obviously isn't the same amount, but it's a 15-point skill versus a 55, which makes the nuke turn much easier to do, you know, because you've got 80 here, you've got 80, you got another 80, and then you've got 2 15s. Okay, I mean, that sounds fine, plus, you know, whatever stacks of Violet that we're going to get. So, I'm confident we can make this Rain do a butt ton of damage, given the correct setup. Okay, well, I think this is the best turn 2 start we're going to get, because I've been sitting here for at least 20 minutes resetting for turn 2 to try and get a usable hand that doesn't have oranges and greens, or, you know, just has greens or something, and it ain't working. So you know what? I give up. I give up. So we'll bring Diablo in, we'll buff all 3 of our physical primal demons here, and then we're just to send these rain orbs. We'll have 1 blue that gets the extra 2% skill point gain, and hopefully next turn we get a little bit better luck. Hopefully. We would have enough to use both the Diablo and Rain's orb changes now. And okay, Thanks. Thanks a bunch. Funny. We're very funny today. Okay, but I mean, now at least we can start. Okay, she's been attack lowered. That's fine. We will use both the orb changes here. So we'll get a full hand of blues that have the 200% skill point gain, so this will look fairly good. We have her alt, and we don't really need it right now. I should have brought Shizu in. Oh, no, we needed the orb changers for next turn. We got her alt, so we could either, A, send it and just wait to get another one, because she's not an EX character. We don't need to get her, you know, another bar of it. So we could just send the alt and leave it alone and not worry about it. Or we could, you know, go ahead and swap it away, use some points. I kind of just want to send it, though, more than anything else, and just get rid of it and get a you know, another full hand of something. We might actually get the Misery alt here. Okay, yeah, we do. Yeah, it's not terrible. 21k. Alright, so that's what we're doing on turn 4. 21k. So, you know, with the Diablo buff, with Rain's debuff, with Jean's buffs, with Shizu's buffs, we should do a lot more than 21k moving forward. You know, hopefully she doesn't die. This is Inferno 1, so it doesn't hit quite as hard, which, to be fair, this beatdown battle doesn't hit that hard anyways. It's just a lot. So here, we get that guaranteed green hand. So now we could either send Misery away and not worry about it, which I think is what I'm going to do, or, you know, have it and send it. One of the two. Either way, we're going to use Diablo's orb change, and I think, yeah, it'd be better suited to use it without Rain's ult here, so let's just not have her up front. Get that full hand of green, convert that full hand of green. This will get Rain, you know, working up to another alt. And okay, we're about halfway there. Perfect. And we've got 2 more turns to get it, so hopefully we get a few more Rain orbs. hopefully being the keyword. Well, we can use okay, we can use Violet. Okay, we can work around this, right? We definitely can work around this. Let's take Jean away. All right, look at that beautiful hand of shenanigans. Let's go ahead and use Violet so we can use multiple skills a turn, and we could just use Misery twice. Twice in the alt swap. So there's 3, and then there's the alt swap, and then we'll just do it again. And there's the other 3. Alright, we aren't getting a lot of rain orbs, though, which is the unfortunate thing. So if we don't get it by turn 8, we will have to push to turn 9. But that opens up the danger of someone actually dying, because they do like to hit... Oh. Never mind, we're fine. Never mind, we're good. Okay. Thank you for working with me today. It took a while, but we're able to get there. So now we're going to have quite a few buffs. We're going to have the maximum amount of points that we can. And since we don't have to use Jean's EX buff, it would save us, like, what, 30, 40 points right there? And that is pretty important. So let's do the alt swap and the pierce resistance down again. This will get Rain's alt, and we'll be ready to go. And technically an EX alt for Misery, if she was able to do so. But let's see if we can make Rain look moderately good, 2 years later, a year and a half later. When did she come out? Space 2.0. A couple months before the 1 year Annie, I believe. Yeah, I think that's when she came out. Okay, so turn 8, let's go ahead and use some buffs. So Misery doesn't have to be up here anymore. We're not going to use her. So Shizu in, we'll use her weakness strike and alt resistance down. We'll bring Jean in, and then we'll use her big time buff. We'll use Diablo's big time buff, and then we'll use both of Rain's buffs. And we do have 130 points left over, so we can just use this, and we'll double the space resistance debuff. So, let's see how much we do, especially after this final... Oh, how much did that do? I didn't see. Well, I mean, we could always do it again. Alright, so I didn't see the instant damage. Let's see it again, just for funsies. 18k. Alright, yeah, that's not a lot, but hey, whatever. So, Rain is up to 100% alt damage right there. Again, because she doesn't get an EX alt buff, because she doesn't have an EX alt. She's got 5% attack from the trait, 128% stacked attack, 100% weakness strike, 100% physical, guaranteed pierce, crit damage, and crit rate, which doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and send it, and we'll follow up with her if we need to. But we can easily do 1,000,000 right here, right? Easily. And they have 1.15. I think we'll look good. Let's go ahead and turn her alt back on just for this, and this will be the last segment of the video. And let's find out if Rain can be a decent substitute AOE space nuker. Because if you don't have Diablo, I mean, your life's going to be a little bit harder, but you could bring in Fount of Wisdom Rimuru and still get a physical debuff, and, well, buff, and Rain could still be useful. 850. Okay. Not as high as I wanted it to be. 850. We would need, like, another buff or something, but there's not another buff we can bring, because she's the last slot. Okay, well, I mean, she can certainly clear EX2, by all means. She can definitely nuke EX2 to get that final Misery dupe, so that's a plus. And then, maybe not Inferno levels of, damage, but she was meant to be on a burst team, right? That's why her skills are so very cheap. And instant damage is kind of fun and very gimmicky. It's not a sustainable skill in today's current meta. It's just not an impactful skill. So if she had, like, a better skill, then certainly we could make her look a little bit better. But she was on a burst team in a very early meta, so I can't really fault her for not doing millions of damage nowadays, because she's just not built for it. We can certainly put a lot of support around her, but at the end of the day, she is not built for it. So, you know, Rain's skill fusion, I think, is cool. I mean, we don't really use it that much because instant damage doesn't get crits. That beatdown stage doesn't, you can barely crit it, so not really too impactful, but at least she doesn't hurt herself anymore, which I think is the most important thing, is that she no longer cuts her HP by a quarter every single time. Because if she still did that, and you tried to use her on the stacking Violet team, and you just killed yourself down to 1 HP, oh, that would be pretty brutal. But let me know what you guys think of this new Rain. I think she's serviceable. She's definitely not bad. Like, it didn't make her worse by any means. It made her better, definitely, by giving her guaranteed crits, which a lot of the other game you could take advantage of. But that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.